Here we go. Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Nikki.
How have you been?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good.
The traffic. How was the traffic?
Traffic is impossible
coming
as
here.
always. Yeah, and all because like I come from the south, and then it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's impossible, especially
yeah,
with the rain.
yeah. On a Friday night too, it's pretty hectic on the road. I assume.
Yeah, yeah. It's just not good. It's just a bad time.
Yeah.
Um,
All right, we're gonna start with some icebreakers, Michelle.
icebreaker. Talking
Yeah.
about the traffic is like an awesome icebreaker. How's the traffic? Bad.
Yeah, that's the common theme of traffic.
It's just bad.
All right. Michelle, if you can have your own talk show, who will be your first three guests?
First three guests if I had a talk show. Fuck, that's hard. Wait, are we allowed to swear in this?
No, let's keep it
Okay.
PG.
Okay. Okay. Dead or alive?
Alive.
Oh. Okay.
But if you can invite someone from the afterlife, it's cool.
Damn, what's his name? I swear, after childbirth, like I can remember the face, but I can never come up with a name. You know this guy. He is happy in Iron Man.
Oh, who's happy?
You
The
know
secretary?
him.
Tony Stark's
No,
secretary?
the dude. He was also in the Chef show. He also did the Chef movie.
Who's in
Oh my
in
God.
Iron Man?
He's happy. He's happy. His name
Who's
is Happy.
Who's happy? Is he part of the Avengers? Does he work in the Stark Industries?
Yeah, he works as Stark. He's the
Is he the driver?
Yeah.
Tony
the
Stark driver.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, he's cool. I don't know his name.
Damn, what's his name? That's gonna bother me.
Yeah, why is he on a show?
I love him. I just absolutely love him. I think he's such a great. He's a director, right? That's one, and he actually directed Iron Man's first movie. He pitched the idea to, and then he directed and shot it, and then he also did a chef movie it's a movie called Chef, and it's like I feel like it was like one of the best cooking movies ever. I mean, sure there was like Chocolat and there was like all these other movies, but I feel like he did it so well in that movie, and then he did a spin-off which was a chef show that was on Netflix. Damn it, what is his name?
All right,
No.
we'll put it in the show notes later.
What's his
Yeah,
name?
I remember his face.
His name is John too, I think.
All right, we'll
Yeah.
we'll put it up. And that's great. That's a first one. Any other? Let's say one more.
Oprah, I guess. No, that'd be too much pressure. Ellen.
Too much pressure on who?
Me, like, oh, yeah, you have Oprah on your show. It's kind of like that's a bad idea. It's like she's the queen of talk shows, and then you have her on your talk show. That's a terrible idea. Yeah, Ellen, and then probably David Chang. I really like him. Yeah, that's about it. I think just mostly two food people and one like
Who's the other food people?
David
person?
Chang.
David Chang.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, including me, who's David Chang?
David Chang is the guy who started all the Momofuku restaurants in LA, I believe. I'm not really clear because I've never tried any Momofuku bars, but he has been around in the food scene for so long, and I mean he's Asian, so I like Asian representation when it comes to food in the U.S. because this guy, he eats everything, right? I mean, he's always experimenting with like ugly delicious food, which is one of his food shows. I really, really like watching food shows in general. So me and John, the only thing that we have in common when it comes to watching Netflix shows is a food show.
Okay.
Because I think food is universal. Everybody eats food. Everybody enjoys food, and there's certain foods that you both don't like, and that also is a conversation starter. Like, you like durian? I don't like durian. Do you like durian?
Oh, I love durian.
Yeah, I hate durian. But like, that's like a common, like, what a durian is, you know what it tastes like, and you kind of can discuss what's terrible about it for those who don't like it. So it's like you can talk about so many things, but I think food is just one of those things everyone's really comfortable talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, they say happiness is through the stomach.
Yeah, or shopping.
Or shopping.
Yeah.
Wait, for those who don't know, who's John?
John, not the director John. John is my husband. Yeah. Yeah. Background story.
Shout out to John.
Shout out to John. Jonathan who? Who is his last name? Not Jonathan who?
Awesome. All right. What is the scariest thing that you've ever done so far?
Scary so far. Probably trying to get into the whole fitness world. I don't know if you call it a world.
Industry.
Yeah, I don't know if it's an industry too. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, trying to get into the fitness industry. That's probably the scariest thing I've done so far because I don't know anything when I first started. And yeah, and if I'm not completely confident in the idea of getting or breaking into as someone as I don't know what it is. It's just still very abstract to me right now, but it's scary because it's abstract and it's something new. So that's something scary for me. With food, I'm a lot more confident. It's not so scary. So like if it wouldn't be the scariest thing for me is just to open a restaurant as opposed to getting into the fitness industry. I think getting into the fitness industry is scarier than opening a restaurant, if that makes any sense. Yeah.
Interesting. We'll talk about fitness and your businesses a little bit deeper a bit later on. But it's cool that you're going straight into it. You're doing what you're scared about, which the viewers would love to hear more about. Yeah. Well, another lighthearted question. If you can visit any place in the world right now, where would it be, and why?
Like places I've never been to. Like I've never
Such
been to.
as?
But does it have to be somewhere I've never been to?
Can be anywhere.
Or it has to be where I've been to.
It can be anywhere.
It can be anywhere. I really want to go to Vietnam, actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard the food is bomb. So I really want to go there. Just for the food. I'm going to go to Taiwan this next year, February.
Oh yeah.
I've never been there. But I know the food is awesome, so I'm definitely going.
Right.
Yeah.
That should be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be really fun.
Taiwan's known for the street food or
street
or
food,
something, right?
like牛肉面, like everything.
牛肉面.
牛肉面. The first time I had 牛肉面 was in Shanghai. When I was there for high school, I was in school in Shanghai for a year, for my high school year, and I had a bunch of Taiwanese friends. Shout out to Jamie and Jessica. If you're listening to this, which you probably won't. I will share this link if it's still there. Yeah, so they took me to a 牛肉面 stall in Shanghai that was run by this Taiwanese lady. And we sat down for this beef. It's basically beef noodles, Taiwanese beef noodles, but it's amazing. And then they give you a side of apple soda. And that was the first time I've had 牛肉面. So I've never had 牛肉面 since high school. Like a proper one. I've never had it. So I'm really looking forward.
That sounds so good.
Yeah, to going to Taiwan, sit down to the actual place to have 牛肉面. Yeah.
Does it have to be apple juice?
I don't know, but I think that's a Taiwanese thing. It was an apple soda. So it's basically, it tastes like it's apple juice, but it was fizzy. It was awesome. It was awesome too.
I wonder what would happen if the drink is changed to apple cider. The fermented apple
yeah,
juice,
no,
would that
no.
take the flavor up or something? Would that be even bomber meal? Because you can get like a little tipsy when you eat
Yeah, but
the
I don't
bomb
drink.
beef noodle. Oh, Michelle doesn't drink.
I don't drink.
Wow.
I don't drink. I don't enjoy drinking. So I realized this when I first started drinking. I was doing it because everyone was doing it, and then I got wasted, and I realized I really don't like getting drunk. I do not like the feeling when I'm getting drunk. I don't like going to sleep drunk. I do not like the hangover when I wake up in
I'm
the
just gonna
morning.
clarify. This is drinking for alcohol.
Alcohol,
Yeah,
alcohol.
right.
Like I
And
just so and then I realized I have no penchant for it. I don't crave it, and I'm like, oh, it's just one of those things that's very easy for me to give up.
wow.
So I'm like, yeah, I just don't drink now. I don't even appreciate expensive wine. You give me any type of wine, like you give me blind tasting, they all taste the same to me, and I just it's like, well, sour grapes. They all taste like sour grapes to me. Red, white, except for a Moscato because it's sweet, right? But everything else is like, yep, sour wine, sour grapes. They all taste the same to me. Expensive or not, I'm like, still the same. Yeah.
That's awesome. I think you are saving yourself from a lot of things as well, in terms of safety and in
Safety,
terms of
yeah.
health concern, which is a pretty good deal to let go.
I don't think alcohol. I don't think alcohol is bad for you if you're drinking it in moderation. Do you know what I mean? Just like I think sugar isn't inherently bad for you, not if you're eating if you're eating it moderately. Like of course, obviously, if you're eating like 10 candy bars a day, like drinking 10 glasses of wine a day, that's logically just it's not good for you. But I feel like if you're a drinker and you drink once in a while, I don't think that's health hazardous. Yeah. I don't think it's bad for you. I think people just need to moderate.
Everything in moderation.
Yeah,
so
everything
to
in
speak.
moderation I think is key. Yeah, 'cause you do want to enjoy life. I just don't enjoy drinking, so I don't include it in my life because then I would not enjoy my life.
Yeah, sure. Uh, that's an interesting topic you brought, with alcohol and with wine and drinking in moderation, and we wanna know more about food and beverage and what you do on a daily basis. Can you tell us what is your main work right now? What do you do? What you spend your most of your time right now in terms of business or work?
So I'm a chef for my own business, which is now I have two. So I first started Forking Clean, which is a vegan diet catering. I started it because I was very, very passionate about clean eating at the time. And I'm not saying clean eating is not right. I'm saying at the time I could not find food that I wanted to eat on a daily basis because though I worked at an advertising agency and the food that was available to me I did not want to eat every day. Like once in a while it's great, but like if I had to eat that every day, I think it was just my body was just not having it. So I started cooking my own food and bringing it to the office, and then I got pregnant, and then I quit the office, and I thought, oh well, I don't want to go back into advertising because I don't really like it. So then I started the catering, and really, honestly, it just started with 5 people a day. Actually, it only started with one.
You.
No, it was my friend Christine. She was like, you know what, like just cook me the food just so that you can get started. And I was like, yeah, okay, because I mean I was already cooking for myself, and then I thought, yeah, just add her, and then other people became interested, and then I started an Instagram account, and then Forking Clean was born, and I approached my best friend, which is Kat, and I said, dude, like, ugh, I want to start a catering, but I'm really, really crap at like holding myself accountable, and I need someone to kind of like get the ball rolling with me. And she's like, yeah, and she's like a very like go-getter kind of person. She's like, okay, let's do this. Let's start when you want to start. And then I started cooking for some people, and then we kind of launched orders, or like it's just very simple. Like I started taking pictures and posting it on Instagram. We were brainstorming names, and then I was like, you know what, let's just call it Fork and Clean. Do you get it?
Yeah, but anything you want to point out there?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Fork and Clean was born because I was like, I want to call it. I don't know what to call it, and I was like, let's just, it's a clean eats catering. That was the idea, that we should have these kind of options in Jakarta, which at the time we didn't have a lot of options, I feel, and I wanted to have a vegan option that was also clean. So I started it, and I was like, you know what, let's just call it Forking Clean. And then she was like, oh, I don't know, like, do we want something a little bit more professional? And then she was like, screw it, let's just call it Forking Clean. I was like, yeah, that's a good idea, it's a good name. And then, like, we came up with it, we started it, and it's been running for about 3 years now, maybe more.
Wow.
Yeah, more. And then because of Forking Clean, then I got approached by the Honu group, which was the Japanese place where they do poke bowls, and they wanted to open a salad bar concept. And then they've tried my food. One of them tried my food, and they were like, you know what, really interested in opening a salad bar concept. Would you want to kind of like jump in and come up with a menu and be the chef for this? And I was like, yeah, totally, because starting catering is one thing, but opening a restaurant, like, I would have never done. Because I hate dealing with operations. Even with Fork and Clean, I'm just always like, just let me take care of the food, and Kat does everything else. Sales, logistics, people signing up, everything goes to her. But like, that's why they were like, well, we're wondering how come you haven't started opening your own restaurant. And I'm like, because I don't want to deal with the numbers and the business side and all of that. Like, I really my happy place is really just the kitchen, and I'm really good at like coming up with like food that I know people will like in terms of like salads or like vegan food. And
Sure.
and I really enjoy cooking vegan food because it's challenging. And I'm not vegan. I used to be vegan for a whole year. And yeah, that's like a whole other topic why I'm no longer vegan. It's like, she's not vegan. Yeah, that's a whole other topic. I started it because I was vegan, and then I was learning so much more about nutrition that kind of skewed my perception on food in general. Yeah, but we'll talk about that a little bit later, because I don't know if there are other questions.
No, what an awesome story. What an awesome detailed
Yeah.
background story to your business, Fork and Clean.
So like the journey to food, and then getting into fitness, and actually food has been a really big part of my life in terms of like my relationship with it. I mean, I don't think men have a problem with food. I think most women do. When I was in high school, and I think a lot of people start their disordered eating.
But what's the problem? What do you mean by problem?
Disordered eating. Like, their relationship with food is so terrible that like, growing up, you're fed this image in your head that beauty and the standards of beauty is looking waif thin. At the time, when I was in high school, that was the standard, waif thin. Now it's like about butts and butts and bigger butts. But at the time, it was about like really being slender and super thin, and like, we're talking about like not Kim Kardashian, like the opposite of Kim Kardashian. Everything was flat. And all the girls that I went to high school with, we all had the same problem. We wanted to look a certain way. And so we knew inherently that if we had to look a certain way, we probably shouldn't eat, because you eat a lot, you gain weight, right? So we did the opposite, which is, well, let's just not eat then. Well, I used to go on this crazy diet. It was literally called the 3-day diet, but they allowed you ice cream. So this 3-day diet was so crazy. You just had to eat like tuna, some crackers, apple, and an ice cream. That's all you can eat in a day. Yeah, it's a terrible diet.
Wow.
Terrible diet. And you just obviously you lose weight. I'm not saying that in order for you to lose weight, you should be on that diet. I'm saying at the time we didn't realize the reason why that diet worked was because we were in a caloric restriction. It doesn't matter what you eat. Like as long as you eat less than what you're supposed to, less than what you burn energy wise, you're going to lose weight. This is something I just really like wish I knew as a teenager, but at the time I didn't know it. So obviously my metabolism took a really big beating, and then my whole eating disorder started, and then it was just like losing weight. And then after the diet is over, you've reached your goal weight, you kind of lose your mind because your perception of food is you can't have it. Because if once you have it, then obviously you're just binge eating because of the restrictive, disordered eating that you've put yourself through. And so this whole food journey has been kind of evolving since I was a teenager. That's why I thought becoming a vegan was the most sensible thing at the time, because it cut out so many food groups for me. It means I can't reach for chocolate because chocolate has dairy. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
I mean, I want to eat chocolate, but chocolate is calorie dense. That's why if you cut out a lot of things being a vegan, you're obviously going to lose weight. But there are obviously also vegans who aren't like waist thin or anything like that. And it's not because of the kind of diet that you're on. It's whether you choose vegan, keto, like super lean meats or whatever, you would be able to lose weight only if you're in a caloric deficit.
Right. So if I can just go back to what you said about during your teenage years, where you stopped a certain amount of food and only concentrated on those three particular food, and then you shifted to becoming a vegan.
I shifted to become a vegan when I was not in high school. After that I just kind of was going through a roller coaster of like finding the right diet, and one was avoiding so many foods because I was just so scared of gaining weight. I wasn't bulimic. I was almost anorexic, I would say, but then I just became like a really chronic binge eater. So I would like diet for a long time, and then I would kind of let go and then binge eat a bunch of chocolate or whatever. And then I would do the same thing over and over again, which just really is unhealthy. And then I got to 25. And then I started working in the advertising agency, and I just kind of wanted to fuel my body with food that was nutritious. That was my thinking, like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to get to a point where I want to fuel my body with awesome food. But at the time I was also being restrictive. I wasn't coming off of it from the right mindset. I was just like, I'm just going to be vegan because that's going to allow me to cut off certain food groups that will make this dieting thing a lot easier. There's a bug. And then, yeah, so that's new for me. That's not like 10 years ago. That's like 25. I'm 30 now. That's 5 years ago.
You mean this is recent?
This is recent. Like 5 years ago, I was still in the disordered eating mindset. It's not easy to shake off like this bad habit of looking at things as good or bad. Like we always say like, oh, chocolate, it's so bad for you, or like you should eat an apple instead. Actually, then it's like we're kind of disconnecting and disregarding like food is food. You know what I mean? Like we always say one thing is good for you and one thing is bad for you, but at the end of the day, both things are food. Both things give you energy. Just the type of energy that you're consuming is completely different. One is an apple, which has vitamin C, it has like all these other things. And then for chocolate, it obviously still has fat and protein and all of these things. So neither is inherently bad for you. It's just one serves a better purpose than the other. Like you can have both and still be able to lose weight. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so Nick, if I told you, okay, Nick, how much do you weigh now?
53.5 kilos.
Okay, and you wanted to go down to like 50 kilos. What's your diet right now?
What's my diet right now?
Yeah, like what do you eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner?
Um, Oatmeals and fruits in the morning.
Uh-huh.
Salad maybe for lunch,
Uh-huh.
and some healthy catering at night.
Yeah, okay, so you're living like a very healthy, like every day you're very consistent with your food. If I told you you should cut all of those things out and each day you should just have one breakfast, lunch, and dinner, one Snicker bar, one Snicker bar, one Snicker bar, what would you tell me?
You're crazy.
But you would lose weight.
That's true.
Yeah. You would lose weight. It would still serve your purpose of getting to 50 kilos. Is it good for you while you're going through that kind of diet? Not really. Like you could choose like better foods to put you on a diet in order for you to have fat loss, which is, let's just be honest. Everyone who says that I'm on a diet, they really just want to lose fat. That's our culture. They're not on a diet because they want to be healthy. I guarantee you 70% of the people who are on a diet, they're on a diet because they want to look good. It's just they know the very basic is that if you want to look good and you want to be slightly on the lighter side, you have to eat healthy. Yeah, but also there's a misconception that even if you eat healthy, you could still gain weight. Yeah, you could.
Yeah.
But it's just harder to do it with like a bunch of salads.
Yeah, sure. What made you realize, when you were working in the advertising industry that, we all want to look good, which is normal, which is innate. But what inspired you to like realign that goal, which is healthy, and also combine that with the other goal, say, of being like physically healthy?
That was not in when I was working in advertising. That was literally a year and a half ago. It took me a long time to finally realign my mind with my actual needs. Like a long, long time. And it's so easy for me to go back to like being that teenager with the disordered eating thoughts. And it's like I have to reteach myself that food is not bad or good. Food is just food. Like every day I have to tell myself this because sometimes I look at a chocolate bar and I'm like, oh, I shouldn't eat that. It's bad for me. But actually it's not. Like everything in moderation. Like if you had it, you're not going to gain like 2 kilos in one day. It's what I've learned and gathered is that how you get fat is not consistently eating bad food, is consistently eating too much a day, bad or good. So if I ate 1,000-calorie salad per meal, guarantee you I will gain weight.
Sure.
Every day. If I ate that for a month, I would gain weight because it's not the type of food that you're eating that's making you gain weight. It's how much of it you're eating.
So what was it 1.5 years ago? Did you go to a personal training class or did you watch YouTube?
Yeah, so I just
what was that turning point?
I was so frustrated with nutritional information, and I feel like a lot of things out there I was just being really misinformed. So I looked at do you know that there's this community where it's just like bikini competition girls? These girls are just out there trying to get super freaking lean, and they're doing it in the most healthiest and safest way possible. There's no carb loading, there's no water loading, and I found like this group of people who are in Australia, and I just got so interested. One of the guys who coaches these girls, his name is Carroll. So I looked into his work where he was just doing like physique transformations, and I was like, man, how is he doing this, right? And he's giving out so many free educational posts that I had to check out where he worked, which was Clean Health Fitness Institute, where he used to work anyway. And then I was just trying to get as much information, and I finally built up the courage. There's just 6 months ago to finally go there, because they were offering classes to get you certified and teach you about nutrition and how to count your macros and how to count your calorie, your TDEE, which is your total daily energy intake. And I was so lost on all of this. And I'm like, what is all this new information that I've never heard before? Like, what is all of this? What is a maintenance calorie? What is a deficit? What is a surplus? What does it do? Like, how about like protein and like macro split? What is it? And I finally went there and I took the certification. I came home. I restudied everything. I got myself a coach from Clean Health and Fitness Institute. My coach is Jason 10K. Hey. And I'm currently being mentored by him. And I really just wanted to learn a lot more because I feel like a lot of people are super, super, super misinformed when it comes to nutrition. Like, everyone who's just recently watched Game Changers, they're like, I want to go vegan now because it's like...
I don't know Game Changers.
Oh, you should watch it. Everyone who's watched it is like, oh, I want to be an athlete. This guy who was a UFC fighter apparently was a meat eater, and then he became vegan, and his performance was a lot, like 100 times better or something like that. And he won the thing, but that's not necessarily because he turned vegan as much as there was a lot of other contributing factors to why he won. One, it was, anyway, going off topic.
Game Changers.
Game Changers, yeah. I like the fact that it's telling people to eat more plants. That's not something new. Including more vegetable into your diet is a good thing. Eating less meat is a good thing for the environment. But it doesn't mean that if you eat a vegan plant-based diet that you will automatically be a better athlete. It's not necessarily true. It's a lot of factors get thrown into being a good athlete. One is that you have to have high energy, like high protein intake. That does not necessarily mean that it needs to come from meat. But as a vegan, and I have like a colleague in Australia who's a vegan, and she's an athlete, and she's like doing bikini competitions, and she's building her physique, and she is vegan, but she has to work 2 times harder to find her protein sources. And I'm not saying like, oh, that's such a bad thing. I'm just saying like, as a vegan, finding protein, as any human being, getting enough protein is it should be our number one priority. It doesn't matter where it comes from, whether it's plant-based or,
Why? Why is protein the most important goal for a vegan?
For what? For vegans or for everybody?
For vegans, right?
No, for everybody.
Oh, so
protein
that debate is for everyone, not just for
everyone,
vegans.
not just for vegans.
Okay.
Okay, this is how it's supposed to be. When it comes to nutrition and you are trying to, whether or not you're trying to maintain your current weight, you're trying to lose weight, or you're trying to gain weight, whatever your goal is, protein is still your number one. Like, you have to hit that macro every day because it preserves muscle. It increases muscle protein synthesis. That's a mouthful to say. And it builds muscle. Because our bodies are not just fat, water, bone. It has also muscle. And the way we preserve our muscle is by eating enough protein. If we don't have enough protein, especially, this is the number one problem for vegans. Most vegans are who do not supplement enough, who are not eating enough protein, or who are not supplementing with B12 and all of these things. Most of them are actually malnutritioned. They're not eating. I'm not saying, I'm so gonna get under fire for this, but but most vegans and most vegetarians, they actually have to work 2 times harder because they need to be supplementing. Most of the things that we're eating as non-vegans, it's already there, like taurine and all of these things. It's already there. We don't have to supplement as much. Like B12 is already readily available. So they actually have to. Being a vegan, I think you need to be a lot more aware of nutrition. That's number one, because you need to know, like, oh, okay, I'm not having calcium from dairy. Where can I get it from? Kale, broccoli. Like, these things you need to know as a vegan. You can't just be like, all right, I'm vegan. Here's the deal. I'm going to eat tofu, tempeh, and not much else. Like, you can't. You have to be proactive and to be like, okay, today I'm not having enough calcium. I'm going to eat 2 cups of broccoli, plus I need B12, and that's going to come from, well, the easiest way to do that is to eat B12 vitamins. And then I'm going to need 31 grams of protein, so I'm going to have like 2 cups of, like, you have to be so methodical in your eating as a vegan to make sure you're getting all these sources. And as a meat eater, you also have to be methodical from your sources, because when it comes to diet, it's not just like food that you eat and then it nourishes you, right? You also have to think of like the ethical aspect of where the food is coming from, whether it's sourced from like a better farm, or how these animals are treated. I think being a vegan supports that. Like most of the people I know who go vegan, they're not supporting it. Some people, okay, that's the wrong thing to say.
Wait, is it because cows consume a lot of grass, and then ethically, we shouldn't
That's
kill animals?
environmentally.
Like we
Okay.
shouldn't kill animals. Is that what do you mean by being conscious to the environment?
I think we should just be conscious and present in general. Like, we're not very mindful. We're not a mindful generation. I think we're a generation that just expects things to be, because we've had them for so long, so we expect it. Like, we're glued to our phones and we expect things should look a certain way and feel a certain way, and we don't really question where the food comes from. We should. Whether or not you're vegan or not vegan, you should know where your food comes from, and how that food impacts not just you but also the environment. I completely am 100% with the vegans who support animal rights, because the way they treat animals are horrendous. We're talking about like chickens in coops who are like not breathing. They're basically like side by side, and then they get killed. And then the moms, okay, just think about this. You just gave birth, and then you can breastfeed, right, as a human being. They put that cow on the same cycle. They make them pregnant over and over again just so that we can get their milk. And ethically, it's not right. Like, there should be a tipping point. Like, this is the way how I think the world should work. Own your own farm, make your own milk, have your own chicken so that you can have your own eggs, and learn how to like murder them or like kill them by yourself, so that you respect where the food comes from. We skip all of that. And we go straight into the supermarket. Everything is prepackaged nicely. And then you just go home and you cook it and you eat it, and you don't really think about like all of the stuff that's happening behind where the food is coming from. But I bet if you raised your own animal, if you grew your own plants, you'd be so much more aware and conscious of the things that you're eating. And it should be like that. It has been like that for our ancestors. It should be like that for us, but we're a messed up generation.
Well, obviously, the other side would think that the animals are who are we to say what the animals should live and be like. It's like if they are meant in nature, and if they are meant to feed us, if they are meant to enhance everyone in the food chain. Some would say like getting killed in the slaughterhouse and getting killed in the forest, hunting them is equally as honorable. Could say that, but of course, does that mean that we should put them in like 2x2s and force feed them like that? No, no way.
Yeah, no.
No way.
Like,
there should be
if you asked any human being,
an effort to come to the middle.
right? And like if you asked anyone, and you brought them to one of these slaughterhouses, or the way they're treated, I guarantee you the next day you'd be sick a little bit to kind of eat the meat that you're eating, because you would question from then on, everything. And I'm not saying this to scare people. I'm not a vegan anymore. And I'm not a vegan anymore because I was not being very healthy. Mentally, I was in a really bad place because I was just restricting myself from all the eating, and it brought me back to all the disordered eating. And physically, I wasn't, I was anemic. I became
What's
very
that?
anemic. That's when you have really low like iron in your, and you just have like low blood count. And I was just like, I was anemic. And I did not look good because I was just gaunty. And the reason why I was gaunty was because I wasn't the correct kind of vegan. And the correct kind of vegan is getting all of your supplements, eating the right kind of food, making sure you hit all of your vegan macros. And it's hard being a vegan, I think. And I respect vegans so much because being a vegan takes so much more hard work. In terms of eating, like you have to find plant-based and you have to find the right amount of food that you should be eating to nourish your body. And you can do that too with meat, obviously, and it's a lot easier to do it with meat because you just have like 100 grams of chicken breast, done. That's like what? It's already like 20 grams of 20 to 30 grams of protein. But if you're a vegan, you're going to have to eat like, what is that? Maybe like 2 cans of chickpeas or like,
Wow.
yeah, or like 1.5 blocks of tofu. That's in one
insane.
sitting. That's not, so it's actually a lot harder to be vegan. And I think people don't realize how hard it is to be one. And so now I just kind of eat whatever my body feels like eating. Sometimes I feel like eating meat, then I'll eat it. But sometimes my body really, really craves like tofu and tempeh and plant-based food, and I just listen to it. Like I will cook just vegetables and lots of like tofu and tempeh and for me to eat. And so I just kind of, I'm on a whatever feels good for my body diet right now, or also called flexible dieting. Sometimes that means I will have a bar of chocolate or half a brownie, as long as it supports my goal, which is right now I'm on a fat loss goal.
Nice. So you have a goal of losing a certain amount of fat.
Yeah, but in a healthy way, but in a scientific way. That's
Right.
what I'm trying to achieve right now.
Do you also complement that with exercises? And,
Exercise,
physical.
physical exercise. I started a YouTube channel trying to educate people on exercise. Is also misleading because people think I'm going to exercise, I'm definitely going to lose weight. Not necessarily, because you can out-eat exercise any time of the day. You cannot out-exercise your food. We're always told, had a Big Mac, just run. You cannot outrun that Big Mac. It took you 15 minutes to eat that Big Mac. Do you know how long it's going to take for you to burn that Big Mac? Probably if you ran for 2 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so it's like there's a disparity between health. Like we're doing things for the wrong reasons, right? We're eating to lose weight, wrong reason. We should be eating things to nourish our body. And if you that means fat loss goals, that means you're gonna have to do it in a caloric deficit. We should be exercising because it makes us more stronger, more stable, just more stronger and stable in general. And we should be walking more because we live in a city where it restricts us from doing so many activities. So half an hour a day of exercise is actually not enough for us. Everyone else in the world gets to walk to work, gets to walk to lunch. We're stuck in an L position most of our day. It's just we as people living in Jakarta, you need to be doing a lot more than just half an hour of exercise every day and just eating healthy. We need to be like making a conscious effort to go walk walk on the treadmill half an hour a day on top of your exercise. Because everywhere else, you just get to walk and 10,000 steps. Oh, what did you look at that? Like when this is what I hear from people who are in Jakarta. Oh my God, did you know that I went to Italy and I had all these pizzas and all of these things? I only gained 1 kilo. I'm like, yeah, bro, that's because you were walking every day. And that was like 6 hours of walking. Can you imagine? Like, you were just going from place to place, walking and walking and walking and eating and walking and walking. Di Jakarta mana ada? Jakarta, you're like walking and then sitting. Oh, no. Eating and then sitting.
Or in
eating.
your car.
Yeah, you were just in your car. So,
always in that L position.
Yeah, and so energy output is determined by your total energy within the day. It's not just half an hour of your day, which is exercise. So right now, I'm actually really pushing myself to be in a calorie deficit, be exercise because I want to be stronger. Like, I'm looking at my body and I want to be like, when I'm 20 years down the road, I want to pick up I'm not going to pick up my son. He'd be like, he'll be so old by then. But yeah, I want to, pick stuff up with luggages or whatever and be strong. That's the reason why I'm lifting weights right now, and then I'm including more activity because I don't do enough. Like, standing in the kitchen, sure. Cooking, sure. But that's still not enough. Like, you have to proactively seek things to be more active, whether it's walking or playing with your kid or cleaning. Cleaning is a really good one. That's another thing that we're missing because we have drivers, we have maids, we have other people doing stuff for us. It actually cuts out a lot of activity that we can do ourselves that actually burns calories, that burns energy. So we're a lazy, really lazy society. And then we're wondering, how come my weight is not coming off? What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the lifestyle has definitely changed.
Yeah.
You know, the consumer has more power now and so forth. But those are been interesting discussion on the personal side. If we can go back to the business side, Mitch. So you're an entrepreneur with many things on your plate.
No,
Literally speaking and figuratively speaking.
I am not an entrepreneur.
I mean, with Fork and Clean, right? How has Fork and Clean grown since 3 years ago? Has it been healthy, so to speak? Has it been fruitful? And what would you say to other people who are aspiring to launch their own health conscious food?
I don't want you to compete with me. Don't start your own stuff. I'm so selfish. Yeah, don't start. It sucks. It's not fun. Yeah, okay, start it. Just I started Free and Clean because I thought there was a gap in the market and I thought there was a problem, and I sought out to kind of fill it. I thought there was not a lot of vegan catering at the time. There's not a lot of clean eats catering at the time. I think now there's a lot more, which I find is great. But Fork and Clean is still the best. Okay, you guys, the food is really good. If you like bule food, come to Fork and Clean. If you like Indonesian, Chinese, whatever, like sometimes we have that too. But you could go to other people. But our food
For those who are listening, we'll definitely link up Fork and Clean to let you really
see the food,
test it and really try it.
You can see the food on our Instagram. It looks good, so it must taste good. But
how's it going? Has your customer base been
expanding,
increasing? And
to be honest, not really. It's just been stagnant. I would still consider myself a boutique clean eats catering. And honestly, I like that right now because I can handle the orders. I can focus on each and everyone's meals. I'm still cooking in the kitchen. I have staff to prep it, but I still taste the food. I still cook it. I still help package put it in the boxes. I still write all the stickers. I still do that. And honestly, like when you ask me about expansion, I don't know. If boom, after this podcast, like I have 100 orders, I would freak out. I would not know how to handle that. But so right now, I really enjoy just cooking for like a few people, like not a few people, but like I have at least 30 orders a day. Or 30 to 50, depending on the fluctuations of the year. Like it's towards the end of the year, people are like, holiday. no
Christmas food.
diet. Yeah, like screw the diet food. But yeah, so I right now I'm 40 and clean is not huge or anything like that, which I quite enjoy, because it reflects on my lifestyle too. That means I have more time for Lucas, and I have time for the Roots, which is my newest endeavor.
For those who don't know, Lucas is Michelle's baby kid.
Yeah, and the Roots is a new salad bar concept in Kamang, located in Como Park.
That's where you were just now, right?
Yeah, well, that was where I was just now. We had a World Vegan Day event.
What's today vegan?
Today is World Vegan Day. Hey, happy World Vegan Day.
Happy World Vegan Day.
I'm so happy to have like this conversation where we're talking about veganism and all.
Do we have to cheers non-dairy beverages, or
What do you mean?
if you want to toast to the World Vegan Day?
Or you could like Coke is vegan.
Oh, it's vegan?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, just what is vegan? Vegan is anything that comes as a byproduct of animals. You can have it. That includes honey.
Wow, it's about to make honey tea.
Yeah, that's not vegan.
Add a little bit of milk there to make it
That's
honey
also not-
frappuccino.
Yeah, that's not vegan either.
We'll make a kale juice or something.
Yeah, no, you could make a coconut sugar tea with soy milk or almond milk or coconut milk.
That's delicious. Well, speaking of delicious beverages, what is Roots up to these days, and what's the business model? What can one expect to go there except having an awesome experience?
Besides the good food, so we're a salad bar concept, and we are a gourmet salad bar concept, but that also means we have options that are not necessarily downright clean. We have like a Southwest salad, we call it Southwest salad, which comes with breaded chicken that is deep fried. So it's, if people are like, oh, salad guy, knock, you know what I mean? Like, oh, don't worry, this one comes with fried chicken. And then we obviously, all our sauces are vegan. Everything else has vegan options. So yeah, we're trying. We're locally made. We're locally produced. We're a local brand, and we're trying to encourage other people to eat good salads.
And this is part of your partnership with Honu Group.
Yeah, the Roots. The Roots is part of Honu Groups. Honu Group. Why did I say groups? Honu Group.
Nice. Michelle, how do you define success?
Man, that's a really hard question.
But you come from an experience of,
No,
personal endeavors with your food, with your food journey.
I still don't think I have personal success yet. I don't know. I guess like if I had to define success, it would be smashing your goals on the daily basis. It does not necessarily mean, you own a business or anything like that. I think you're successful if you wake up and you're pretty content with yourself and how much you're eating or what you're eating, and you're not really double thinking about what you should or you shouldn't eat. I would call my son's eating habit a success. Like, he just eats whatever. He just moves whenever he wants to move because that's how his body was designed. I want to be like him. I think that's a success. Like, that's a mental aspect of success that I want to have, where I'm not overthinking food. I'm not so obsessed with everything that when it comes to food, I'm not exercising for the wrong reasons. I just want to be like Lucas, which is my son. I just want to be like him. He eats vegetables. He eats meat sometimes because he doesn't really like meat. And he eats sweets because sometimes he wants something sweet and he wants an ice cream. He asks for it. But that kid runs around like a mad person and just moves around because he feels like he has got a lot of energy, and he just moves around whenever he wants. That's what I want to be like. Like, I feel like as an adult, success is being like a kid. You're not really thinking much. You're just moving the way your body's designed to move. You're eating whatever that's designed to kind of nourish it, and you're not building bad food images in your head. Just being a kid.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, we should all be kids. Like when you were younger, you would be running around in the playground with your friends, right?
Yeah, for sure.
We don't do that now.
I still do now.
What? How come you never invite me? That is so unfair, Nikki.
No, but
No,
you're
now
right,
it's
though.
like we do group exercises in F45. It's not like we're chasing each other in the playground and pretending to be pirates or like big bad wolf, or or like we're not having fun while we're exercising. When kids, they play in the playground, that's them exercising. That they're exercising their mind, their creative mind. They're exercising their physical bodies because they're climbing and running around and falling and all of these things that we don't do as adults.
Yeah. Well, I agree. One has to keep their childlike imagination, to keep them, and so that
To
you
keep them
won't
young.
keep them young, and
Yeah.
be true to yourself with what you like and what you like to do. Be it play with, I don't know, toys or jumping around, like you say. But it's also good that Lucas has such a good example to follow from an early stage, that he knows what kind of food, the differences in between food. Hopefully he'll be like an example to his friends, who, because not many people are conscious of what they eat. Even maybe my family, who only eat a certain food, probably don't know what being a vegan really is, and we can definitely teach the older guys and teach the younger guys through food experiences like your experience. All right, Miss Jo, where can people find your work? What are your Instagram handles for your work and yourself, and
Okay,
maybe your blog if you have one, your YouTube channel?
Okay. I had a blog. I don't update my blog. Thought I wanted to start a blog. I started it and then I did not update it. So yeah, that one's called Who's Your Mama? HOOS yourmama.com. I don't even know if it's still on. Anyway, don't check that one out. My Instagram
Nice.
handle is Miss_Santoso. That is MS_Santoso. My catering is Forking Clean. That is at Forking Clean. And then there's The Roots, which is at The Roots ID. That's all.
Awesome. All right, great, Miss. It's been an awesome podcast. I
Awesome
learned a lot about
podcast.
food.
Food.
Um,
Is there anything else you want to ask me?
well, we'll ask you for advice in your socials, because I'm gonna have some questions, and I don't know if you'll have time to answer them. But
Which is what?
no idea. Not. I'm trying to eat healthily. But I never measure it. So
Yeah, but you don't have to measure it if you're not trying to reach a goal. You know what I mean? You don't need to. You're not trying to lose weight, are you?
no.
Yeah. Then why would you need to measure it? Just eat whatever you're eating. If you like the way you look right
Curious.
now, just eat whatever you're eating. If you're trying to grow muscle, then obviously you're going to have to start weighing your food, because you're going to have to know how much you have to eat. That's the same with people who need to lose weight. They need to know how less to eat. That's why they measure their food. But if you're trying to be like on like your current weight and you're trying to maintain and you just want to eat healthy, then yeah, eat more vegetables, include different kind of protein sources, fish, meat, vegan options also, and yeah, cut out all these like preservatives and all of these things. Yeah, but I'm not saying if you don't do that you're not a healthy person. I'm just saying that's the kind of life that you want to live. Yeah, that's what you need to do. Eating more fruits, and including more vegetables in your diet never killed anybody. No, never hurt no one. And health is so subjective. Just because you have a low body fat percentage does not mean you're healthy. It's like cancer patients have low body fat percentage. They're not healthy. So healthy is really subjective. Like, what are you really looking for? That's everyone, like, the listener should be really focusing on. Like, what is your goal? Is your goal to lose body fat? Are you going to be okay sacrificing some of your time socially to achieve this target? The answer is yes, then go for it. If the answer is no, you also have to think, how are you going to sustain how you got there? You get there by oh yeah, I can totally cut out like social outings and all of this stuff. Once you get to your goal, how are you going to sustain how you got there? You know what I mean? If you let go and you go back to your normal lifestyle, you're going to gain it back. That's just how it works, because your body is in survival mode, right? Because you eat less, your automatic body's response is to adjust whatever energy that you're currently eating and adjust it. As soon as you eat more, it's gonna store up more fat, because they think, okay, this kid or this girl has been eating less for like 4 months now, and suddenly she's eating a lot. You're gonna gain it back faster than faster at a faster rate. That's science. Also, you guys should check out this book called Fat Loss Forever, and it's written by a guy called Layne Norton, who wrote
put that in the notes.
Yeah, who wrote this book explaining the science of fat loss. I think everyone should read that book, because it has been such an eye opener, and it has been so useful in understanding how your body works when it comes to fat loss or muscle gain or all of these things. And that guy, he has a PhD, so and he wrote a dissertation on fat loss, I think. Please don't kill me. Yeah, so you guys should check that out. If you really want to understand how the science of fat loss works, then you should be reading that book.
Right.
Yeah.
And follow Michelle's Instagram.
Yeah, follow my Instagram.
And YouTube.
I just post, like, I just screen capture a bunch of the things that I know, and I underline everything on my Instagram stories, and I just post it for people to read.
That's so helpful.
Have you read them?
I read them, but I understand almost nothing.
Yeah, so see, that's the thing. Like, nutrition is so confusing for a lot of people. So I'm just trying to really, and I'm trying to really educate people on it.
Yeah, we need people who can summarize it
plainly and like
and teach.
And then on my YouTube videos, you guys can check me out. I'm just Michelle Santoso, and I just make like videos on what a reverse diet is. That is the diet after the diet, where you slowly increase your calories. I'm on a reverse diet right now, so I'm eating 1,560, but I've lost weight. I don't know, it's weird. I think I've come to learn from my fat loss journey that my metabolism is super adaptive. When you give it a lot of calories, I adjust. When you give it less, I lose for 2 weeks and then I plateau. Some people are just like that. If you guys want to know more about this, I explain it a little bit in my YouTube videos, but you guys should really read Fat Loss Forever. It explains everything there in so much more detail. What a reverse diet is, how your metabolism is kind of broken, but it's not broken. It's not broken, guys. It's just really smart. Your body is really smart. Your body knows that when it's losing fat, it's not good. So what it does, it tries to adapt. It's just adapting. Your metabolism is not broken. It is smart. It is very smart. It is so smart because it does not care if you want to have a bikini body. It only cares if you're losing fat. That's why it's adapting each time. It's fighting you. Every time you want to reach that I want to have that summer body. I want to be the hot girl summer. Your body's going, nope, hell no. You are going to hold on to these things.
Interesting how the mechanism of the body works.
Totally read Fat Loss Forever. Yeah, that's a really good book. I would recommend.
All right, Mitch, please continue to teach us and lead the way in your food journey.
My food journey.
Because I want to continue to learn from you, and I'm sure other people will want to as well.
I hope so.
All right, thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, Nikki.